Hi, welcome back to Mountain Jim Card Collectibles. So today I want to talk about a few collectibles, sports cards, athletes that may be losing relevancy within the collecting market. So to start us off, this came out a few days ago, and PSA is planning to discontinue Funko Pop grading in December. This came from Clicked. And for the most part, the reason that they're going to discontinue grading Funko Pops, except for autographs, you can still grade autographed Funko Pops, but they'll just grade the autograph. They will not grade the Funko, due to the fact that Funko reported a $41 million loss in the second quarter ending June 30th, bringing the company's losses to $61 million through the first 6 months of 2025. And it's hard not to see that Funko Pop is losing relevancy in the market. I mean, I can just remember going on Whatnot, and just seeing endless people selling Funkos. You don't see near as many. You see these people on Whatnot, with like almost like big warehouses just full of Funkos. And I'd always kind of scratch my head and ask myself, well, what are they going to do with that stuff? I mean, I purchased Funko Pops back in 2022 from a distributor. I've sold a lot of them, but I still have a number left. Funko Pops are a tough sale, and as they lose relevancy, with this battle with Labubu, I don't expect Funko Pop to, come flying out of the ashes like a phoenix anytime soon. So, if you're having issues selling your Funko Pops, well, it's not just you. I mean, it's the whole market. All right, so, there's another company that obviously feels like they're losing relevancy, Wildcard. And Wildcard is pushing back. In this article that just came out within the last 14 hours from The Athletic, like it says here in the headline, trading card company files antitrust lawsuit against Panini America. We have to push back. And, when you get into wild card, I don't know if you have any wild card cards. I used to buy more wild cards in the 1990s than I do currently. I know that they're popular for their one-of-one cards. Like it says here, Wildcard, a Tennessee-based trading card manufacturer known for its autographed cards featuring top athletes and celebrities, filed an antitrust lawsuit Thursday against industry giant Panini America. And, in this article, it's just basically saying that Panini America leveraged its market power, like it says here, to enter into unlawful contracts, combinations, and conspiracies with distributors and manufacturers. Yeah. So, in order to keep its relevancy, obviously, Wildcard's fighting back. I'm not sure how this lawsuit's going to go. Cross your fingers, maybe Wildcard will get something out of this. Maybe it'll help their business out. But obviously, Wildcard feels like it's losing relevancy within the card collecting market because of Panini's monopolization. If it's true or not, that's going to be up to a judge or a jury, but either way, relevancy is everything in sports cards and collectibles. And if you don't have it, nobody's interested in your product. So anyway, I ran across this X post, fairly recent from November 1st, 2025. And, what interests me about this is, just like what it says here. From the Hook, says, found these boxes. Is Caitlin Clark even relevant anymore? And these boxes, I could have purchased these boxes at my local card shop multiple times. I mean, sometimes I regret not buying them. Sometimes I don't regret not buying them, I do have, Caitlin Clark rookie cards I'm trying to sell. But let's face it, they're just not selling. And so, I was curious about this post. So let's see how people are feeling about Caitlin Clark. We know she's been plagued with injuries ever since she entered the WNBA. And, that's just it. Is when you hit professional sports, it's a different ball game than college. It's a lot tougher. And, I've watched the WNBA since Caitlin Clark has been, doing her thing in it. And I'll admit, WNBA, they play hard. I almost think comparable to the way the 1980s NBA players played. So it's a tough gig out there. But anyway, let's see what we have for replies. You would think she literally put women's basketball on the map. No biggie. Brought billions of revenue to Iowa in the league. Yeah. And he replies, haha, fair. And yeah, she really has. I mean, she's really put a spotlight on the WNBA where a lot of people would never even consider watching those teams. But, now they're watching. So, hey, if anything, that's good. All WNBA is still hot in the market. Well, I can't agree with that. I mean, especially if you're selling Caitlin Clark rookie cards. I don't see them flying out of my eBay store and elsewhere. They're just sitting there. Might get a view here and there, but that's about it. The WNBA and the Jealous Girls successfully made her star less bright. Well, I don't know if they did, I mean, she's still making a lot of bank, but she's almost more of a celebrity, it seems like, than an athlete to an extent. Maybe you disagree with that statement. But, she just is always kind of showing up here and there, and she's really not playing very often, I mean, that was the thing about watching Michael Jordan is I got to watch that guy play a lot. And, for the Caitlin Clark and the WNBA, it's just like she's just kind of here and gone. She is for my 7-year-old daughter. Which, I mean, that's great. She's a great role model. Panini needs her to be. I also think it could be a good time to buy the dip if you're inclined. It can still be risky buying the dip, What if she never emerges out of the dip? LeBron rose above the abuse. I don't know how often basketball players are able to overcome relentless targeting. I've never been an everyday WNBA fan, so I'm just going based on random highlights that hit my feed. I mean, I can personally testify that she still is relevant along with all the other new faces, Paige Beckers, Angela Reese, Sophie Cunningham, Lexi Hall, I guess that'd be Asia Wilson, Juju's coming out next year. I just spent $500 on a Donruss box, so I can tell you the W is not relevant. But the individual women are. Okay? Well, let's hope they are. Unfortunately, those don't hold much value. She gets hurt too much. Even if she does go on LeBron career, I think of that as his 2002, 2003 upper deck sets like that are worth. Yeah, those early, LeBron upper deck sets. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you ask yourself, do you just buy the stuff, hold on to it? Something like these Caitlin Clark boxes, are they going to, explode in value? I don't know. Not really. Was making the argument months and months ago about how her cards and hobby relevance may be a flash in the pan and that I'd rather have an equivalent price Ken Griffey Upper Deck PSA 10 than any card of hers. She has so much to prove still. People paying $75,000 a card. Yeah, and people are all in on the gamble with Caitlin Clark, But we're just, for the most part, she's moving into her third WNBA season this next year. That's a freshman and sophomore season that's been fairly irrelevant to an extent, unfortunately. And let's hope that her relevancy comes back, especially for people who, have invested a lot of money into her, sports cards. She's at least the 150 millionth best basketball player on earth. Easy. Why wouldn't she be? I mean, that's saying a lot, isn't it? That she just really isn't anything special. She was a big name in college, but that's always the college thing. You know, so many players are big, big names in college, and then they go ahead and hit the professional leagues, and they just get swept under the rug, unfortunately. Yeah, but injured a lot. Concern her card market if that continues. Yeah, and that's really the biggest issue with Caitlin Clark is all the injuries, you know. Some people are made for the WNBA and some people just aren't, unfortunately, you know. I mean, you have to be really tough, you know, to get out there, apparently. Probably retired to become a corn farmer, going to be the WNBA's equivalent of Mike Trout. Let's hope not. I mean, Mike Trout, it's the we have like Mike Trout's name, the big blimp, you know, all the time. He's such a great player. He's such a great player, but we just don't ever really see the results, you know, of the Angels ever doing anything. Judging by the ratings of the WNBA after she went out for the season, I'd say a league depends on her, despite how much they try to resist and not accept it. Well, hey, you know, maybe you have a point there, but that can only go on for so long before, like I said, she's just completely forgotten about it. I mean, everyone's going to watch the WNBA, and you're never really ever going to see Caitlin Clark out there. I almost feel like Caitlin Clark is more of a celebrity than an athlete. But when she's never playing, and it's a consistent thing, it's really hard to, you know, go, man, she's the toughest athlete in the WNBA. I mean, it's just... She's a great player when she was in college. And, you know, I've seen her play great games in the WNBA, but it's always that, you know, plagued with injuries issue. I hope so. I have 49 different Caitlin Clarks from 7 different subsets I need to move for $60 shipped. And I know it's, I feel the same way. I bought some of her cards. And you priced them up a little bit. And now I'm at the point, I'm just priced them to where I pretty much bought them at, you know. Come on, guys. You said you loved her. Buy them. Buy the damn cards. She is a washed up hack. I hope not. So there's a lot of people still, you know, rooting for her that are sitting in her corner. But overwhelmingly, I have a sense that people have kind of brushed her off, swept her under that rug, you know, accepted the fact that you have to be built like, you know, a brick house to play in the WNBA, to say the least. And if you're not that person, well, I guess we can expect you to always be injured, you know. And that's not the Michael Jordan effect. I don't mean to put that out there. I don't mean to be the villain here, but I'm just saying always having an injury is not Michael Jordan, you know. And yeah, I know that people love Caitlin Clark, you know. I mean, she's a cool person. I like her too. It's just the relevancy towards Caitlin Clark is kind of dying out. And it's dying out for the reason that she just can't seem to play a full season. You know, it is what it is. Anyway, I'd like to thank my subscribers, thank my viewers. If you haven't subscribed as a viewer, I always say it, you know, you could help this channel out so much if you're watching this, you know. But anyway, hope you have a great day. I'm out of here. Bye.